next layer down of actual information, really just in the transportation system side of it. And I'm sure there's lots of questions about the challenges you have about managing that infrastructure that we'll save for later. I'd now like to turn the podium over to Dr. Choi, and he'll give us a perspective on issues in South Korea.
Yeah, it is my honor to speak about, to introduce some water resources in Korea. So I'm going to talk about some water infrastructure, especially for the nowadays and before, and then I'm going to introduce some like alternative water resources in Korea, and then finally I'm going to speak about some water smart grid project, and then I'm going to conclude. As you know, Korean Peninsula is about 1,300 kilometers long and 300 kilometers wide from the east to west. That east line is going to be very steep mountain compared to the to the west to south. So usually precipitation is coming together, and then runoff is coming from the eastern part to the western and the southern part. As you know, so this is some statistics for the precipitation is going to be 1,245 millimeters. So it is going to be 1.4 times compared to the global average rainfall. However, precipitation per capita is going to be 2,591 cubic meter per year. It is about 30% of the global average. Also, so usually it's precipitation coming from the June to the September. About 2/3 of the annual rainfall is coming from during this time. Also, this is just the statistics. So further, some water resource is about 124 billion cubic meter per year. The runoff from the rivers is 72 billion, but rose is 51. So runoff during the flooding season from the June to September is normal runoff from the 20 billion during the August to May or something. And then total water is going to be 33 billion cubic meter per year. This is just water resource use. It was the 1965 was 5.1 billion, but totally is going to increase to 33.7 billion. It's increasing by about 62 times since 1965. I'm going to introduce some water infrastructure in Korea. As you know, for the definition of the water infrastructure can be defined as some stock of the facility of the installation to develop the managed water resource, including the delivery and the treatment, the supply, and the distribution of the water facility. And then also it's going to be included some collection, removal, treatment, disposal of the sewage and wastewater. So usually we are going to some concepts of sustainability and acceptability to overcome the water scarcity as nowadays. This is some history of the water resource in Korea. So first, water supply system was started from the 1908 from the British Water Company. At that time, it was 12,000 cubic meter per day. Nowadays, was increased. Water receiving rate is about 92%. And in case of the 2008, and total capacity is 30 million cubic meter per day. Also, dam is very important resource, especially for the in South Korea area. The sufficient provision of the drinking, industrial purpose, and agricultural water for the Korean society has been possible via the array of small and large dams. including the 19 multipurpose dams in operation. In particularly, so multipurpose dam in Korea has played a very significant role in boosting up the social economic development during the from the 1960s to 1980s, including the managing disastrous flooding, generating some hydro power something. But in spite of the substantial contribution of the society, dam became the target for the criticism, from the mid of the 1990s, especially by the environmental NGOs. As you know, so same situation in the American countries. Yeah. So there had been some emergence, some civil movement against the dam, and with some negative impact of natural ecosystem. So our government are trying to take into account some environmental concern. And then central government to make some guideline for the environmentally friendly dams construction concept as well in 2003. Also made another one, the environmental sound and sustainable development guideline for the dam construction in 2006. And nowadays, trying to building the water-friendly user system. So we are making some water vision can be applied from the 2006 to 2020. And that time, so the volume of the reduction of the water demand is targets on 2.4 billion cubic meter by 2011. In order to achieve the goal, the driving strategies will be promoted to strengthen policy for the enhancing water management through the efficient water management, as well as increasing the reuse and improving the technologies. Also, they are going to include some water use monitoring system. This is water just indication for some figure. For the map, for the limited water supplies in South Korea. So it was from the 1990 to 1995, but this is 2009, 2001 years. So limited water supply area is still increasing. This is another table for the some water demand and water supplies. As shown in the figures, water demand is still increasing, but water supply is smaller compared to the water demands. This is the indication of the some regional water shortage, but this is national total water shortage. So regional, so we have some problems in the regional area rather than the total in the central area. And so I'm going to talk about the one water supply system in Korea. So we have two different water supply systems, such as a regional and the multi-regional water supply system. So capacity is around for the regional is 22 million cubic meter, but 8.5 million is for the multi-regional facility. So 624 water taking plants and 500 purification plants in Korea is amount of the drinking water supplies of 5.8 billion cubic meter per year in the statistics in the 2008. Its budget is going to be invested about 400 billion Korean won in 2010 for the water supply system. But still, we are trying to increasing management efficiency by integration of the regional water supply system, and then we are trying to decreasing some leakage from the water supply pipe by the maintenance investments, as well as we trying to improve the water quality instead of water through the expanding high-level treatment facilities. And then also we trying to increasing the expense of water area, water supplies to realize the balance, the development among the area. As I told you, some areas lacks of the water. So some area is more water compared to the demands. So it is necessary to expand in the wide area water supply systems. It is going to be waterworks adjustment by zone, so integrated waterworks system can be applied for this purpose. This is just a schematic diagram for the multi-regional water supply systems. And then still, even though some urban area, so we fully supporting supplying some water, but in case of some other area, it is necessary to provide more water in case of some island in the mountain area. So we're trying to expanding the capacity of the wide area water supply 1.9 million cubic meter per day by completing a facility by 2010. Also, still we are going to increase in dependence on water supply condition. Korea is considering the construction of the new wide area water supply facility in 15 area, including Western Gyeongnam area, that is eastern parts by the 2016. Also, concerning of the water supply rates, local authority reached about 98 to 99%. However, in towns or villages, in farming and the fishing community, it's a rather low rate. In case of the town, it's 83%. The village is going to be 38%. This is a farming area in the island. So for sharing the benefit of the water supply, Korea is planning to expand the water supply to town and the village. Not just focusing on the metropolitan governments and the metropolitan area and cities. MOCT, this is Ministry of the Construction and the Transportation, is promoting the water supply plan to supply the wide area into the 140 local authority by the 2016, expanding the water supply facility to village and the farming area until up to the 83%, and then wide area waterworks ability is increasing to the 54%. And then also there is planning to expand the race operation wide area water supplies until 72%. And so we're trying to increasing some ability by several concepts, such as some increasing of the some concept or some ability in case of in design, in operation, is maintenance, and some construction. We're trying to integrate or trying to have also new skill or technology, and then we're trying to investment some water resource facilities. So for the wastewater treatment plants, we have two different wastewater treatment plants. For